Hey everybody, good to see you all back once again. Work on the field continues. It's been taking up all of my time lately. And I would say I'm about halfway through reclaiming this overgrown thicket along the edge of the access road to the building pad and turning it into an open and usable space. The last episode had us out here with the brush mower cleaning between all the cut-off stumps, and since then I've got this entire lower area grubbed, at least for the stumps. The rocks are still in the ground. They'll come out last. But under the last episode, Thomas Poeta 6308 says, "What are you doing video when you remove the stumps? We have some to move and would like to see how you go about it." I think we can do that. We've still got plenty of stumps and the brush that has to go. The backhoe's at the ready, and it's not like I've had time to be in the shop anyhow, so this just became a viewer request episode. All right, stabilizer's down, and as I said earlier, it helps to leave a couple feet of stump exposed for leverage. You can get behind it just like I'm about to do here and give it a good push and watch the water pour out of the end of that thing. Mash it down to the ground so it lifts what's left of the root ball at the back, and then get behind it, and this is where the thumb is really handy, and pull it out. And we don't want to go whole hog right now. You can use that thumb to rake some of that material, that dirt back off of the root ball. Loosens it. Then you want to pick it out, see if you can pull as many of the roots as possible, and then like pivot it on the front of the bucket against the thumb and just shake as much debris out. Dropping it helps a lot too, and yeah, give it a good shake again. The drier the ground is, the more you'll get to come out. Set it off to the side. Nice clean stump. There's not a lot of dirt in there. We'll go back in one more time and just check for any roots that may still be, below the surface broken off. This looks good, so thumb up out of the way, and we'll see if we can push some of that material back into the hole, kind of give it a little bit of a pack real quick, and on to the next. So here's another stump. It's a little bit bigger, and I think it was a cherry tree, so the root structure is going to be a little bit more resilient, but we'll give it the big push down. We pop the root ball a little bit at the back, but watch the ground where it heaves to either side. Where we saw that ground heave, put the bucket in, do a curl, and pop some roots, but then back the bucket back out and try to leave the majority of that material right where it is. If you pull it out, you just have to put it back later. So we'll go to the other side, do the same thing, bucket in, give it a curl. We can watch the stump heave, and you'll feel the roots pop. Curl that bucket back out. Try to leave all that stuff in place. Now we'll go down either side of the stump and we'll just poke those teeth in, and we're just further loosening that sod layer from the roots of that stump. It's going to help it to pull out easier and cleaner. So mash both sides. So now we'll go and we'll give it another push, and yeah, it's a lot looser already. And see, we rolled it out for the most part right there. So we'll get behind it once again. Try not to go too deep. Thumb down. Grab a hold of it, and then we'll get it pulled out. Yep, trying to go opposite of the direction that we curled that sod. And we tried to shake a little bit of dirt and found that not much left to have to come out. We're not going to get it any cleaner than it is already. So put it off to the side. Once again, go on to the next. And right here we have a cluster of those smaller popple stumps, or poplars as most people call them. And whenever you have a cluster like this, it pays to just go and pre-loosen as many of them as you can reach, because a lot of times they will all shoot off of the main taproot if there used to be a larger tree there. So good chance a lot of these roots are interconnected. So we'll just go through, loosen all of them that we can get for now, push them all down to the ground, and see what moves. If we're heaving the ground around it, well, you know kind of where a main root might be. So we'll just pick one, and these are so small. They come out really easy. They're just more of a nuisance than anything. Really no technique here. We'll shake the dirt out as much as we can. Like I said, get it so it pivots on that leading edge of the bucket on the teeth, and then just rock that bucket forward and back, and it pivots across that thumb, and it does a pretty good job of shaking material out. So another strategy is to grab it like that from the end, and then if you have another stump, rake that root ball across those other stumps. I mean, you can just be mean to it. We're just trying to pound all the dirt right out of that thing. You can try the lift and drop technique, anything you can think of. Get those things cleaned up. And once again, this is where having a thumb is really handy. You can take those larger roots like that are sticking out of the ground, grab onto them, and just pull them right out. Take them out now, or they'll be in your way later. Now, when it comes to brush, there's really no strategy. I just get down towards the base, grab onto a clump, and pull. You're gonna pull a lot of dirt out with the root clump. It's a mess, it's tedious, but you just have to rip it all out. Really no technique involved at all. Alright, so everything we've done up to this point has been pretty small, and this still is not a large stump either, but it's kind of a double. It's the biggest one here, so maybe this will put up a little bit more of a fight. We'll see. Yes, I have a grapple bucket, but I need the exercise. A few times people have asked me how I get my burn piles to burn up so completely and so clean. Step number one is don't put dirt and rocks in it, especially with stumps. Make sure they're cleaned out. If they're not cleaned out, they have to sit for a while outside so that the remaining dirt can dry out. You can usually shake them again and then that stuff falls right out. Another tip too, sounds like I'm being OCD, and I am, but bottom layer of stumps I like to place with the cutoff end facing down. That way, if there is anything left in here like that, it'll eventually just sift out. It's not laying flat on the ground and it's not retaining moisture. Plus it lets the pile breathe a little bit. Everything above it dries out faster too. Well everybody, we're at a good point to wrap it up. Stumps are gone, brush is gone. That part of the mess has been cleaned up. Rocks are next, like I said before. So yeah, we didn't dig anything that was really very big today. Everything we had to deal with was pretty simple. Shallow roots, none of them were very tough. I have dug oak stumps, like big quad oaks out, that are about the size of that tractor before. You have to take a lot of bites around the perimeter and remove a lot of material, and then that backhoe doesn't move them out. You need like one of the cats to chain up and get it rolled. But for just general cleanup tasks like this, that little backhoe attachment does a very, very good job. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you back again.